Okay guys, we're going to talk about this as well as some other evidence, and I believe we're going to be safe to go up here and look for tracks or even more evidence than I've already found, because we have a deer up there. Well, there she goes, but she's running for me. But what I've found is that when they're around, certain other entities are not, but things might be changing a little bit after waking up this morning and discovering this. Hey guys, so here recently, my beautiful bride Dearly and I actually went back into the lair of the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch. Dearly was not afraid to go with me, even though she's been leery to get involved too much with these endeavors. But to be frank with you, we haven't seen much evidence even around our homestead for a few months. I mean, honestly, it's why my videos have been kind of boring. We were kind of thinking maybe they left again and weren't here. So I wanted to go into the lair, see if we found any evidence, any sightings, heard anything, and we uploaded that video recently. I'll put it on the end of this one as an in-screen video. It's something like a couple hikes into the lair of Bigfoot Sasquatch, yada yada. But here's the deal. And I have an umbrella because it's raining, so I hope it's not too distracting sound-wise. We may have been followed home, okay? So, my beautiful bride Dearly, aka Giggly Girl, she found this out here first this morning, this broken tree limb. She said one of the limbs from one of our maple trees broke last night in a storm. It rained last night, but it wasn't windy, and there's no downed limbs anywhere else. Now, here's the deal. Tree limbs fall, tree limbs break, especially if there's wind. There were no winds, but sometimes tree limbs fall or break if they're rotten. Or sometimes tree limbs break if very large entities that weigh a lot are sitting on them, looking into your windows at night while you're sleeping. Okay, now there's a direct line of view from here into our windows. And let me zoom in close where this limb broke up here and show you how healthy this limb is or was. All right, look where it's broken. I'm going to zoom in and we can see that limb is perfectly healthy, or was. There's no ant damage or other insect damage. There's no rot. Perfectly healthy. The sapwood is entirely whitish yellowish. So this would suggest not that, and again, there were no winds last night. There was plenty of rain and we needed it. I'm happy to be getting this rain right now because it's holding off the heat too. Getting ready to go running, and I'd rather run in this rain the last day of July than run in the heat the last day of July. But anyway, this seems like a perfectly healthy limb. This would suggest to me we had a large beast sitting on this limb. But there's more evidence. Okay, get my 6. I'm going to try to hold the umbrella out of your way. Now, this happened last night. Night before last, something else happened that my beautiful bride Dearly, aka Giggly Girl, doesn't know about because I didn't tell her. But I'm going to show you now. And this was the day after, or the night after we had been up in the lair of Bigfoot Sasquatch. Let's stop and do a slow scan. Now, if you've been following this channel for some time, you know that him, her, it, or they, for some reason, love to knock over our firewood piles. What was that? It's like, I don't know if it's like a game they play, like peekaboo, I see you. They hide behind the wood piles. Gives them a direct line of view to our house as well. Well, our gardens have done really well this year. If you've been watching Dearly's channel, Life with Dearly, you know that. Our pumpkins are doing phenomenal. And our pumpkin vines have grown out of the fence, the garden fence. And I was over here 2 days ago looking at the pumpkins that are growing in between the wood piles. We have so many pumpkins, it's amazing. This is the most pumpkins we've ever grown. But I noticed one of the wood piles was pushed over, just like back in the old days, just like when him, her, it, or they come calling. And I have reason to believe with that, and then with the broken limb last night, I believe they followed us home from the lair. For some reason, oh, there goes a deer. Look back there. See it? So I think we're still safe right here for now. But I feel as if for some reason, maybe they got bored around here. Maybe Crazy Lake wasn't out here enough with his blue rectangles and his red circles, ringing his little triangle, looking through toilet paper. You know, everybody, people who don't get it, don't get it. All that stuff's for a reason. That lures him, her, it, or they in closer so we can potentially get better views. And I kind of had gotten away from that. And I think they went back up in the lair. So anyway, we went back up in the lair a couple days ago. And if you didn't see that video, watch it at the end of this one. I believe we were followed home. So let me show you, first of all, a couple of the pumpkins, but also the pile that's pushed over. All right. So here's our firewood pile. I've got some to split, and actually, after my run and after I get some food in my belly, I might bring the old axe out here and split and wedge and maul and sledgehammer and split some of this up since it's not hot today. But here you can see our pumpkins growing out of the fence, doing great. Look at that big pumpkin right there hanging on the fence. Now these are the kind that don't get very big. That pumpkin's probably not going to get much bigger than that. These are the types that you, look at this one. You actually can make pumpkin pie. This is like the sweet, most edible. I mean, many different types of pumpkins are edible, but these are the small sweet ones for like pumpkin pie. So I was over here a couple days ago getting all excited about my pumpkins. And keep my eye on this little poplar tree I'm going to be transferring next March. It's doing really well. Like, here's some vines. Look at this. Look at these pumpkin vines just coming right out of the garden. Pumpkins all over them. Wow, look at that pumpkin down here. Look at that. See that? There's a nice one. And then here's one. I mean, they're just everywhere. Got them down here. Every time I come out and look, I see more pumpkins. So anyway, I was walking around over here looking at this wood, thinking, well, I got to get out here and start splitting some of this up. And lo and behold, look what I've discovered. This pile was stacked here and was pushed over from back here, this direction. And this has happened so many times in the past. If you've been following our channel, you know this. It's almost as if, look, and something was standing back in there, almost as if something was saying, hey, we're back. And this was the night after we had been up in the lair. And then the big limb on the maple trees way over there, that was last night. So it's like, were we followed home? Had Bigfoot Sasquatch left our homestead because Crazy Lake wasn't out here being crazy enough? Because Crazy Lake was kind of resting on his laurels in his older age? And did him, her, it, or they go back to the lair because they were just simply bored? And did we draw them back a couple days ago when we were up there? Are they back now? So I'm going to just give you guys my view, and I'm going to be very quiet. When I came up here yesterday, I almost stepped on a bear. But let's just go up here and have a look-see and see if we can find any more evidence. You can see where I was playing with my new truck. Just riding around. Boy, it's dark back in there today. This rain. Clouds completely covering the sky. Him, her, it, or they could be anywhere, and it would be more difficult to see them. Was that a watcher? Are we getting a warning? Huh, look at this, guys. Here's a well-worn trail where I believe him, her, it, or they come back and forth between our place and the lair. And look at this. Is this some sort of marking? This freshly broken little snag here. So for tracks in the mud, be a good day to find tracks with all this rain and some mud, fresh soil, or moist soil. Look at this. Grass is heavily pushed down here. Of course, I mean, we always got to consider all things. That could be from the deer, that could be from the bear. I've seen 2 bears up here so far this year. See what you can see up in here. We just mirrored it. We have one back there. I'm going to go right up here to the top and show you how both positions, where the wood pile was knocked over and where the limb was broken, would be perfect viewing points. Oh wow. Guys, this is nuts. I haven't been up here in a couple of days, but this wood pile is knocked over. I have a little wood pile that I've kept here. Guys, we just discovered more new evidence. Look at this. This was just a big white oak limb. It fell off of that tree right there, that giant white oak, last year. I cut it up this past winter, and I had it stacked up here. You can see I put down, I always keep my wood off the ground. So I had one big long portion there, big portion here, then I had this stacked. Oh wow. Guys, this is a first. You are finding this evidence with me. Him, her, it, or they. Wow. From the 3 best viewing points, they are definitely saying, hey, we're back. Look at this. Here's the view from here. I love this view, okay? So, from here, they can see our house. They can see us hanging out in the backyard. Down there's a wood pile where they got a direct view into these windows. And over here's the limb on the maple tree, direct view down into the windows there. Guys, these are 3 distinct indications that he, she, it, or they potentially followed us home from the Bigfoot Sasquatch lair. Well, watch for movement down in there. It could be anywhere. So I knew of the wood pile down there. I knew of the limb, which happened last night, but I did not know of this wood pile up here. Well, I think Crazy Lake's going to have to break his blue rectangle and his red circle and his little musical triangle back out and get some toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, Christmas wrapping rolls, and have to get the old inside out beanie, and going to have to get out here and get back to it. Looks like we were indeed followed home from the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch lair. Potentially. See you for more next time.